they have cool plugins like SolarGraph, some other plugins. They are free. This is amazing. This is great. I'm an economist by my background. I've never seen any other sphere where people would share so much for free, and that's why IT and especially Ruby community. This is amazing. This is economically incorrect, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, of classic economics, this is crazy.
On the other hand, yeah, I agree. This is crazy, and I have this also. I'm a programmer, but I also have this entrepreneur part of me. So I see your perspective that this is crazy, and I kind of agree. And if you look at some of the open source projects, which I'm supporting, and we also develop open source projects, but it's really risky because at some point, some of the leaders they burn out. They get really disappointed that they are not paid. They're trying many different donations, actions, but they're never really happy. And it's the whole business model, which doesn't exist. It's like very challenging for open source projects. So I'm somewhere in between. Like I really appreciate what JetBrains does with RubyMine, even though it's a paid product. But I really understand that if you have 13 people or 14 people working here, it's it's job, right? You have to be paid and so on. So and with open source projects, it's actually very hard to get the monetization around it. As Arkency, we are working on Rails Event Store. This is our open source tooling.
I know that one.
There are I estimate that there is more than 100 production projects somewhere using that. Cool. I've recently learned there's a Romanian hospitals using Rails Event Store for collecting the data from medical devices. So that was a really cool thing. And but because Rails Event Store is supported by Arkency and people are paid to work on Rails Event Store, we can build a business model around it. So we are not expecting people to pay for Rails Event Store. We are just getting marketing through that. We get exposure. We get people know us. They see how careful we are with the code quality. So that's our way of bringing attention and then trying to convert it maybe to our clients, maybe to we are selling programming ebooks for programmers or online classes for Ruby programmers. So we kind of build the business model around it. So it's still open source, but we can actually earn money on that.
Yeah.
But things like the code editors, they seem to be very often lacking the monetization part. So so this is really, really interesting how it works from the lacking of the business model perspective.
Yeah. Yes, and the things you mentioned about the ebooks and things that you can do for free in order to gain your audience and to get more exposure. That's important. That's a very good practice, of course, in terms of marketing. But it's long term.
Yeah,
it's very long term.
Definitely.
Yeah, and but it's really cool. Actually, when I love companies and I love people who do that because for me as a marketer, maybe that's just because I'm a marketer. That's why I think this way. But I think when I see someone doing something for free, I do understand that probably there is a long-term strategy. But this also, because of this, I understand that they have real plans. They're not planning to go anywhere. This is very important for me as a marketer because there is a ton of different products. They all call themselves amazing. They started yesterday and they call themselves amazing. And because they have a lot of investments and IT is really has become huge lately, and it bothers me a little bit. But when I see marketing strategies when people are doing something for free, I do understand that's long term, and they're not planning to go anywhere. They're just trying to develop. That's very important.
Yeah,
and they will be around.
Using your perspective, the marketing perspective, that's the beginning of the funnel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's also great. Maybe we can go in this direction in this conversation because you know.